Hello and welcome to Senior Times and to the Kathleen Watkins Podcast. I'm Mike Murphy and today I'm here to listen and to enjoy the music that you've chosen for us, Kathleen. Music and songs that mean a lot to you and that you love. But before we start, let me ask you, how important is music in your life?
Well, music has always been very important in my life, particularly when I went to boarding school in Sign Hill, where we did music endlessly, and I learned the piano, the cello and the harp. I think really I was a cellist, if I can be honest, at this very late stage. But I just loved the stringed sound, because that's the string sound of the harp as well. But I particularly loved the cello, that wonderful mellow sound. I can still hear it on the music room that we had, a beautiful music room in school. And then I was part of a trio at that point as well, with Mary O'Hara and Deirdre Flynn. And we all know what happened to Mary in her wonderful life of performing. And Deirdre became director of the Feis Ceoil, and she worked at the Feis Ceoil all her life. So that's our story.
Well, it kind of leads us into our first piece of music, doesn't it, really? Would you like to introduce it for us?
Well, this piece is Moirní Ian. There was a wonderful man called Sean Ogo Tuama who taught a group of us Irish songs every Saturday for years in the Royal Irish Academy of Music from 3 to 6. And this is one of the songs he taught. It's about Rafji the poet going to Mass in the rain and meeting a beautiful girl and falling in love with her.
This is you singing. And as I recall, and I'm sure you won't mind me mentioning, this was one of Gay's favourites.
Yes, it was. He included it, to my amazement, one Sunday on his Lyric FM programme.
Well, as you mentioned in your introduction, Gay playing it on his programme, on his lyric programme. I remember on Hospital's Requests when I did that way back in history, one of the most favoured tunes on that was you and Deirdre O'Callaghan singing The Bridle Path. As we walk along the bridle path.
That was hugely enjoyable for Deirdre and myself. And indeed, she comes to mind with my next choice of music, which is Kenneth McKellar singing a wonderful piece by Handel called Silent Worship. Well, the air is Handel. And Deirdre toured with Kenneth McKellar, and I remember her telling me he wore evening dress for one half, and then for the other half of the concert he wore the kilt, and he swished around the stage with this kilt going left and right. It was wonderful. And this piece, Silent Worship, I last heard it sung in a drawing room setting. Tom Murphy, the playwright, sang it in his beautiful light tenor voice. It was really a special moment. You could hear a pin drop.
Did you not hear my